He's like, it made more sense. He's like, but a 5 acre lot, or a 4 acre lot. Well, I know that's what she's trying to do. She's trying to sell it 40 an acre.
I couldn't lift anything. I couldn't lift that ball.
I know. And the argument is that the lot's worth the same whether it's 4 or 5. She's like, well, that's like saying a house that's worth 2,000 is worth the same as one that's worth 4,000. I'm like, man.
See, I think I tore that muscle and blood vessels. Blood vessels tore around that muscle.
Where is it?
So when you used to do, I'm thinking, when you're old as you feel, maybe about 83 or something.
You know, you don't go out there to the gym and start pumping 500 pounds.
But I think I tore that muscle.
You don't get on the treadmill and pull it up to the highest level.
Yeah, I think I tore the muscle.
You got to start off easy.
I was actually cutting limbs and stuff. I was pulling them.
He may come back around, but
We don't have much going to be showing me.
my argument was literally when you're going in the ground with the new house, the lot, whether it's 4 or 5, it's worth nothing. And she said, no, not at all. But it happened like on Mike's house. 9 acres or 10, worth the same.
You see, we're going to both lanes this morning.
See, I really
I know, yeah, I never called you on it just
putting
because
up on highway
I didn't want to go there.
clear and all that.
He just disappeared. Did you ever call him on?
Nothing from me.
He disappeared. He went to Costa Rica. And,
They might be there.
yeah, I got a feeling I know what he does down there. Nice guy. I enjoy talking to him.
You know where the short line comes in.
Well, but anyway, I don't know what he's gonna do with it. He had a 1031. He's selling something in Memphis. Yeah.
Well, right down from.
He said, I got some money, I gotta go buy
Right
some.
there, too small for folks to know it's probably. They think there may be another company. I think they're trying to get that set up.
Call the meeting to order. Let the record reflect all council members present except Nathan Little. Having had some surgery today, so y'all just say a little prayer for him. I hope he came out all right. We'll move into the monthly department reports, starting with code.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just some highlights from the period covering the month of March of this year. Had 67 code inspections. We wrote 68 permits and collected a total of $12,487 in permit fees. We had 12 new businesses apply for a business license and 10 were closed. Some of those were basically just name changes, so they're not really attrition on the job. I mean, on the business front. Major projects ongoing is Burger King at that time in the Walton Behavioral Health Hospital. Behavioral Health Hospital has come along great. Burger King should be open tomorrow for lunch if they can come in and get their business license in the morning. So that'll be done. In the code department, we
hamburger, huh?
things listed there, specifically collecting 141 payments for a business license and reviewing and processing plans. Also process applications for rezone variances and COAs, which you'll hear about later on this evening. City Marshal patrolled the city daily, removed 26 signs from the roadway. That number's down a little bit. Normally we pull a lot more signs, but during the election cycle, we have a tendency to not get near the political signs, which oftentimes the illegal signs are disguised in. And we don't want to be called out for maybe pulling somebody's political sign up. So that's down a little bit. But the city marshal wrote 108 repair cleanup orders, did re-inspections on those, issued 4 citations, and represented the city and municipal court. And historic preservation issued 3 COAs. Planning Commission heard the rezones and annexations that have happened since in April. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to try and answer.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Electric telecom.
Thank you, Mayor. Electric is trending pretty much as we expected it with the weather. Residential use is down a little bit, but the good thing is Leggett and Platt, our industrial customer, they're trending around 10% above every month. And I talked to them, they're running as wide open as they can, and I hope they would expand. They can't seem to get caught up, which is great. Points of interest, our usage through the internet has jumped tremendously in the past couple of days. Even since we did this, since I did this report, we increased the capacity to our CMTS, which increases the capacity to the cable modem customers, and we're trending around 2.5 gig, 2.6 gig every night, which is good. We are going up in numbers, and Logan will touch on that a little later on those internet customers. But that seems to be the trend. More and more people cutting the cable wire and going to streaming, and that is really pushing that internet, which is great. And that's where our best customers are. We will begin pulling wire on Charlotte and Rowell sometime in the next week for that power line. We just got our encroachment permit on the power line right there where 78 dead ends into Charlotte Rowell and 138. So we've got to encroach on the MEAG power line a little bit. We just got that permit today. It was delayed about 6 days, so we should start pulling wire up there in the next week or two. That project has gone extremely fast. All the wooden poles are set, except the one at Highway 11. We can't set it until we get the wire, until we start stringing the wire. And it is moving along very well. Next project you'll see in that area will come to you with a fiber job to go down that line. It's one of our CIP projects for this year. Every month I'm going to keep you updated on our vegetation contractors. They have been on South Broad, little areas around South Side, and now they've moved to North Broad. So if you have any questions about what's going on, they are cutting the vegetation away from the power lines. They should be moving north of the city limits down our power lines out toward Walker Park over the next few days. As I said, we increased the capacity throughput to the modems, and that is really taken off. And we hope to have our DOCSIS 3 CIP project before y'all in June or July. Hopefully June. I don't know if I'll be able to get all my quotes in by then, but if not, July. And what that does is allows even faster throughput to the customer's homes. And in reverse of what we always talk about, throughput to the home, capacity for the customer to come back upstream. More capacity, especially for businesses, send out larger files, bigger files, and for us to be able to sell more packages and open up our internet anywhere from somebody that wants very little, just do an email, to somebody that's wanting to stream video from their church. So that's all I have, unless you like your questions.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas.
Thank you, sir.
Finance. Logan.
Thank you, Mayor. Before I get into my report, just want to update you on where we are with the audit. We are finalizing our drafts this week. Hope to have printed reports sometime next week, and then presentation to the council for the June meeting. So the plan and everything is going well. P-cards are now probably 98% rolled out to all the departments. It's a good thing. They tested well. Chris Bailey's done a good job of implementing those. There's good controls on spending through that process, which we've discussed before. I just wanted to circle back on something that was brought up in the last meeting about our billing cycles. Some citizens are getting occasionally 2 bills in 1 month. Now this happens just periodically. We have 9 billing cycles, and the way weekends and even the leap year works out, occasionally 2 of those cycles will end up with 2 bills within 1 month, like 1st and 31st. The caveat is that following month there is no bill, so it really balances out. But in some cases, it can create, I guess, a little bit of budgetary confusion for the individuals. But we're working to find a cost-effective solution to that issue without totally sitting down and manually pulling out each bill. It's just not something we can do right now. Moving into the reports, just briefly, I'll hit the highlights on our performance indicators. Customer growth is good. That's what we're seeing right now through electric, natural gas, water, wastewater, cable TV, even internet customers, which Brian touched on. Like he said, the internet is growing tremendously. We've seen a lot of growth in his wireless deployments through areas that were previously underserved and could not be served by any other method. So that's a tremendous growth capability for us to be able to do that. Cable TV, that's been solid. We've seen a lot of growth there from February. People moving into the digital platform. So taking some of our losses previously in January, February, we're rolling that into a digital cable customer. So we're excited about that. I'll just move on to the financial status report from there unless you have any other questions. Briefly looking at the general fund, governmental fund cash on page 1. Our general fund checking is down about $240,000 from this time last year. That's something I want to keep an eye on. Just generally, what that is comprised of is higher self-insurance claims that we've seen over the last few months, really dating back into December, which has taken a toll on our cash. We do have aggregate stop loss insurance for really catastrophic health insurance claims, but that only kicks in at a pretty high level. So we're hoping that we get our claims back in order as we move through the rest of this year and things start balancing out. But I will be keeping an eye on that cash level. Moving forward into the general fund income statement here. Our revenues are a little bit below budget. That's primarily because we've not collected our taxes yet. A lot of those come due, October through December. As you know, our expenses are right on point. And again, the general government shows a little bit over budget. Going back to those health insurance claims I was talking about earlier, that's where we account for a big portion of some of those claims. So you'll see that being a little bit higher. All in all, we're in very good shape, and revenue-wise, licenses and permits, the building permits that Patrick oversees, those are really solid for us. That's just another indication of good growth continuing throughout the city. A lot of rooftops going up, which is a good thing. Charges for services, that's also good. Sadie's group has done well with some of the events we've had, and some of those revenues have flowed back into our general fund. Combined utilities, revenues are right on point, 26.5%, right about where we should be. The main item here is we're holding down costs. We're at about 21% of our total expenses. So, the majority are fixed costs that our power purchases and water purchases. However, we're holding down our other operating costs tremendously right now. So that's a good thing. Flipping on over to solid waste, briefly touched on, we wanted to keep watching our aging schedule. That has cleared up as the month rolled over. That was just a timing issue. And, we're in good shape, only with about $400 owed to us over 30 days due. That's tremendous. It's excellent. So we're basically right on point, a little under budget on both ends of revenue and expenses. But everything's stable there. Last page of the report, SPLOST. Just want to give y'all an update here. We are 38 months into the collections of 53%. And in 2016, we're averaging a little over $123,000. The total budget should be at a little over $127,000, so we're a little under budget. And the total SPLOST 2013 through 2016 budget is $125,000, almost $126,000. So we're just a little bit under budget there. So hoping we get some more retail development into the city, and we continue to grow that through the remainder of the SPLOST cycle. I'll be glad to take any questions.
Just one question.
Yes, sir.
Logan, you were talking about the health insurance cost, and I understand on the self-insurance you may have some individual claims that may be large. But the last 2 years, when our insurance consultant has spoken to us, has been that healthcare costs have been maintaining low, so we wouldn't, not necessary to make any rate increases. Is that still a good
Overall,
statement?
it was because when we went through the renewal cycle, some of those claims that we had, let's say in December through February, had not really shown up on our reports yet. You know, it takes a while to get through that whole billing process. So we might see some adjustments in the next year based on our claims history from the last few months. That may affect us on the next renewal cycle.
But on this renewal cycle,
We're looking back that previous 12 months, basically.
okay.
Anything else? Okay, thank you, Logan. Fire department.
Fire department run, in the month of March, had a total of 10 fire calls, 5 of which were structure fires, 130 EMS calls, 8 of which were motor vehicle accidents and related, 6 hazardous condition calls, 5 service calls, 26 good intent calls, and 7 false alarm type calls. Overall, for the month, we had 6 instances where we gave mutual aid to Walton County Fire Rescue, and 4 times where we actually received aid from them with assistance. We had a total of 16,571 fire loss value in the city. 1 public relations event, 534 hours of training, and 1 arson investigation where we assisted the county. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Just do want to make a comment on the burned houses. Norman and I got a chance to go through it. Appreciate the hospitality of the fire department of not letting us get burned up. But that was something, it's amazing if you've never been in a turnout gear, squirting a fire hose at a fire inside a house. It's something to see, and I'm glad we were given the opportunity, so I certainly appreciate that.
Thank you. We enjoyed it.
Police department.
Thank you, Mayor. City of Monroe Police Department responded to 3,561 calls. The department itself received 1,639 phone calls. We had 154 municipal court cases. Officers participated in 494 hours of training hours. We had 95 Part 1 crimes, which is your major crimes like your armed robberies and major felonies. Part 2 crimes, we had 136, and we ended up making 80 arrests, 70 of which were adult, 10 were juvenile. Our community service picked up 0.74 net tons of trash, which equates to about 1,500 pounds of trash, and they also picked up 51 tires. Our officers participated in 221 area checks here in the city, and we also participated in 3 separate community events here, and one being where officers provided security and traffic control for that movie Hidden Figures that came to town when they were doing the video. And I'll be glad to answer any questions if you should have them.
Okay, thank you, Alderman. Solid waste.
Thank you, Mayor. All of our tonnage for March trending upward. We had a high number of garbage carts we replaced, 138, and that's pretty much our goal was to try to replace all damaged carts on the route. We probably damaged about 10%. One other note that we have one of our vendors, we've entered an agreement with them to buy back old carts, so we should be getting credit for all the damaged cars that may wind up in the transfer station, but they're taking them back, and we're taking the metal off and pretty much saving everything on that car. So we should be getting credit for the next purchase. And a little note about diversion rates. Our diversion rate increased in March. We're up to 17%. And I'll take any questions you might have.
Thank you, Dan. Streets and transportation.
Thank you, man. Our community building for the month rented out 7 times. Our fleet maintenance division completed 142 units of service. Our grounds crew picked up around 1,200 pounds of litter throughout the city. Our street department, or street division, performed 6 repairs on streets. We patched 11 utility cuts. We normally this time of year we are normally paving. As of right now, our paver is out of condition, is having repairs done. Hopefully by the end of the summer, those pavers can be complete and we'll be able to pick up on the paving. So as of right now, due to that being down, we are working on the right-of-way over on Poplar Street, and we have started our sidewalk project on East Church Street. Our sign and marketing division has completed 20 work orders, and our building and maintenance division completed 57 work orders throughout various facilities through the city. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you. Water, sewer, gas, and stormwater.
Thank you, Mayor. As far as water treatment, wastewater treatment, both have trended along in conjunction with the last 12 months. Water distribution had 74 service calls, 21 emergency after-hour calls, 28 leaks repaired. We had installed 12 new services. Wastewater collection, 10 after-hour, or 10 service calls. We had 9 after-hour service or emergency calls, and 3 new services installed. Natural gas, we sold 52,567 MCFs of gas, with 24 service calls, 11 leak calls, and installed 5 new services. And then down to the training center, we had 81 trained on-site, 34 off-site. Had a really good month in March at the training center. Any questions? We're happy to answer.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, that concludes our monthly department reports. Moving to committee information, finance.
Thank you, Mayor. We have a couple items on the agenda this evening, and the first one being approval for municipal tax digest and collection agreement. Logan.
All right, thank you. This is something I've been working on with the county tax commissioner for the past couple of months here. As you know, we currently send out our own property tax bills here in the city. It's not probably the most efficient practice in my mind, especially when we have the experts over at the county tax office, and that's all they do is collect taxes. They're up to date on most advanced training techniques. They're up to date on the law. They have the best software that's updated by the state each and every year. So basically what I've done is put before you a tax collection agreement with them. And, I've outlined here a variety of other reasons I believe it's beneficial for the city. Number one is having 2 tax bills for our citizens and businesses is often confusing, and this is going to consolidate your tax bills onto one bill, just like you just probably recently got your property tax assessment, where it has your county taxes and your city taxes. Your bill is going to be the same way, and it's all going to be due at the same time. It's not going to be split up. That's probably the biggest thing. We're also going to eliminate some of the duplication that the city pays and the county pays in processing the taxes and processing the delinquent taxes. We're not both going to pay the one vendor. We're both currently using Appalachian Mountain Services to help us collect back taxes. Going to go through at one time. Additionally, just communication between the commissioner's office and the tax assessor is going to be improved. They work side by side. That's just going to lead to more accurate assessments and more accurate billings. The total cost for this is going to be variable on what our tax digest is each year, but we've negotiated a 2.5% rate, which is standard for the county. That's what's being collected by other cities and school districts that the tax commissioner is working on. What that means is an estimated $67,820. Sounds like a lot of money to give up at first, but then you realize the tax commissioner's office has a much better collection rate than we do. We're only running about 84 to 85% a year. He's in the very high 90s. This means more money to the city without us having to go through the hassle of sending out tax bills separately. I'll be glad to answer any questions you have on this issue here.
What's our annual tax digest of the city, roughly?
It is.
3.
It's a little under 3 million, 2.8
Yeah.
is what we were.
And we don't have anywhere now where you can get online and look at our tax bill, pull it up real quick. In the county, that's a very, I assume they can merge those.
They can merge that, that's correct.
That'd be a benefit to the general public.
That's one of the most common complaints that we hear day in and day out is having that separate bill.
Mm-hmm.
It gets lost, it gets put on the back burner, people pay their county taxes first.
It would cost us that much to implement that system on the web somehow, probably. I don't know. But
It would cost us something to implement that, but, that's just something they can merge in without any additional cost on their end.
do we have a dedicated person that would their job change, or?
I've got taxes spread throughout finance and customer service. I mean, everybody's kind of just doing it third or fourth on their list of things to do. It's not really efficient, and we just don't have the resources to send 2 or 3 people to tax training year in and year out.
And the county charges the school board 2.5%, all that, and it's all, is that an annual contract?
Yeah, it's an annual contract, it's renewable. We've got it in, I believe it was 4 years, Paul, is that right?
And just for y'all's benefit, if y'all decide to do this, and Logan's already looked at this, and we'll just have to do a little bit of work on it, but we'll have to bring back to you some ordinance changes, some black book changes, so that our timing comports and our fees and our fines comport with what the county does, so that it all matches. Because right now their structure is different than our structure. Of course, they're due November 15th, we're due December 20th, what it is. I have to change that, I have to change the delinquency dates and those sort of things to match up. But we have to do the contract.
Essentially what that means is we'll have to push up our millage rate adoption by a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks, into the summer there. But it just aligns it on.
But if they're able to take us from a 80% collection rate to 82%, they're going to pay for themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's already in the high 90s, so.
I think we're going to be lower, but better than where we are. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's a step in the right direction. I mean, do you anybody else?
Mr. Chair, I move approval.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Somebody from finance?
Yep, sorry.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Have a motion second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Present that to full council then next week. Second item is approval of surplus items.
All right, thank you. Got a list of about a dozen items for surplus here. These are just older pieces of equipment that have outlived their useful life. Their maintenance costs exceed what it is to use them, basically. And we're just asking that these be declared surplus. We'll put them on gov deals in accordance with state law and our purchasing policies and procedures.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? We'll present the list to full council next Tuesday. That concludes finance committee's agenda, Mayor.
Thank you. Airport?
Mr. Mayor, Larry Fussell was unable to make it tonight. All he wanted me to relay was that they are seeking a buyer for Air Devil Aviation aggressively, and he just recently advertised it in a couple magazines, and he's had a few inquiries, but nothing concrete yet. And that's really it.
Let's see, Public Works,
We don't have anything tonight.
okay, Utilities, I'll take that, have approval of the gas line installation. Rodney, you want
Yes, thanks, Mayor. Seek your approval to hire, the low bid contractor Harrison at $90,350 to replace the steel gas lines on Carver Drive. During a recent leak survey, we determined that the pipe along Carver Drive is completely eat up. It's got a lot of leaks on it. It's got to the point now where we can't protect it. So it leaves no choice but to replace it. We would go back to plastic lines, not steel, so we could remove the steel lines from the system. You'll see in there the readings. The acceptable CP read would be at least a negative 0.85 millivolts. We got readings of negative 500, negative 533, and negative 270. So that's in layman's term, it's basically the pipes burn up. It has no useful life anymore. So just seeking your approval to replace this.
to? Okay. Any discussion? We need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Burke,
Second.
second by Mr. Rabbit. All in favor? Any opposed? That passes.
Thanks.
Public Safety,
We don't have anything, Mayor.
Economic Development.
Good evening. As it's kind of mentioned through all the department reports, but we are seeing a lot of activity when it comes to new construction and even new neighborhoods that are in the beginning of coming before and getting all the zoning, everything ready with the code office for development. This is a great move for our city to have more options, to tell people where to live, where to go. It's going to help us economically because with more people, it's better for our businesses. Downtown, we have very little vacancy right now, and even some spaces that have not been used in over 10 years are being converted into retail space as we speak. So that's a great sign of just small business growth here. We're also seeing some larger interest at the national level with retailers. I know you're aware that we have a number of sites around the city that are large retail potential parcels that are getting attention from buyers and retailers and brokers out there. So we're going to continue to have those meetings, working really closely with Mel Graves at ECG and his contacts with brokers on a number of the parcels that we have. So hopefully we'll have some good announcements of more larger big box and smaller retail that's coming. You'll get to see them when they come through with asking for sign variances and all those details when they get before us. But that's a great sign, and we're excited about it also because of the GIG team, the Georgia Initiative for Community Housing. That just seems like the timing is perfect for us to start assessing what we have to better assist and attract the kind of development that we need when it comes to places for people to live and grow. We have our first concert this Friday. Excited about that. The sponsorship is coming in on track as it was last year. We're continuing to collect that. I think we'll meet our goals. And we're preparing for interns that will be here again this summer to help us do our development around the city. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thanks, Dave. Okay, moving into items of upcoming discussion. I'll have an upcoming public hearing on a rezone 506 South Broad Street. Okay.
Sure, thank you, Mr. Mayor. As you mentioned, this is one of those options that is coming to town with a great deal more options for people to move into the community and serve businesses. It's that 506 South Broad Street is listed. And then all the other addresses of parcels that are concerned, it's listed as an application as 506 on the listing, but all the parcel addresses are listed there. They look for rezone those parcels which are R1 and M1 to PRD, to the planned residential development with some commercial on the Broad Street corridor. And on that one. I'll try to answer.
Okay. Item B is a variance for the sign at 1100 North Broad Street.
Yes, sir, and that's just a request by the applicant, John Bostwick, with Botanicals, I believe. I've been moving a little slow here. Yeah, at 1100 North Broad Street. Their zoning is B3, and they have several requests for variance. One's to allow for a wider driveway than our CDO requirements allow for, to allow for a maximum parking across the front of the parking lot, and also have a 50 square foot sign rather than 35 square feet. Considering the context of the area and the surrounding development, the recommendation from planning and zoning and the code office for that one also is for approval. I don't think it's listed there any longer, but I just wanted to mention they did ask for a variance on the amount of impervious surface they would be allowed to have, and we came to the conclusion that it'd be best to just start incorporating some pervious concrete or pervious asphalt into developments to allow for parking that won't increase stormwater runoff. So they're going to do that instead of asking for the increase of impervious surface. I just wanted to mention that, just so you have an idea of the trend that we're going towards in development and being a little bit more environmentally friendly. If you have any questions on that one, I'd like to answer them as well.
Okay. The next one is a variance for a sign at 1557 South Broad Street.
Yes, sir. This is a request by Horizon Roofing. They're asking to utilize a sign that was in front of this address at 1557 South Broad Street. That was the old Angel Food Ministries building. The sign is currently non-conforming due to the fact that we changed our sign ordinance back in 2014. It's a pylon sign. I recommended approval with conditions that they would modify the structure to be a ground sign that would make it conforming. I'm not exactly sure why the planning commission went ahead and recommended to approval to use it as is, but I don't know that we should be allowing the use of a non-conforming sign that could be easily converted. So my recommendation is approval with those conditions. Then they'd be able to use the signage area that's there because it's conforming if it's a ground sign.
What do you want to do? Drop it?
Yeah, just basically take the stone down to the ground and make it a large monument sign. Just infill that area. What they want to do is just grow the bushes up. And, unfortunately, bushes aren't permanent, and that wouldn't really make it conforming. But it's easily modified. And I think Gary Potter was going to be doing the work. He said it was. I'm not 100% sure he's got the job, but when we talked to him, he said that that's a pretty easy modification to make. So that's a recommendation on that one. If you have any questions other than that one, I'll be glad to answer those as well.
And it's for Horizon Roofing?
Horizon Roofing, yes. Oh, and I was going to add a condition, I'm sorry, it's not on here, but they do have other signage, and if they're not utilizing those office spaces on Spring Street, I'm asking to remove the off, which would basically make those signs off-premises signs, ask them to remove those as well.
So they're looking at moving offices out there. But
They've already moved over there.
Yeah, they're working out.
But they're still using the Spring Street.
No, they're working out of South Broad.
Yeah, they moved their office.
Oh, everything.
to South Broad.
They need to go ahead and take Spring Street down anyway, right? If they're
That's
out.
what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Item number 2 is approved June and July meeting schedule. We need to change, actually, we just need to combine the first and second meetings in June and July. We'll have basically just our regular meeting on June the 7th. I'm going to be out of town next weekend, and also in July, we'll have our regular meeting on July the 5th, because that is the MEAG annual convention. So most of us, hopefully all of us can be down there, but most of us will not be here. Any questions, comments? Okay. Approval of out-of-state travel.
So, give
say, yeah. I'm sorry. I was looking to see who was going out of state.
This is an economic development finance course. It's through the National Development Council, and typically it's a very expensive certification. But the Department of Community Affairs, through sponsorship with BB&T, I think did the course for $250 versus close to $1,300 per class. It's a 4-course series, but it is a nationally recognized certification on economic development finance. And so I would have to go to South Carolina for this first course. The plan was that they would be in Georgia, but it looks like they're going to be in a mixture of Georgia and neighboring states, so South Carolina and possibly Florida for the course. So it's going to be over the next 2 years.
Okay. Thank you.
Move approval.
Second.
We have well, this is coming up
Oh, is that for next week?
for discussion. So you can jump in there next
When
week.
it said approval, that's right.
You might be going, I don't know.
The approval's up there, actual.
But, okay, that ends our regular meeting. We need a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Mr. Richardson.
Second.
Second, Mr. Adcock, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay.
Approval, we didn't say discussion.
5-minute break. And, lean back here.
Everybody approval.
Just gotta have